Symptoms of pelvic congestion syndrome include pelvic pain, like we were talking about before, of at least 6 months duration, swelling of the lower extremities, tenderness, cramping, and heaviness of the abdomen and the pelvis. This pain that's due to venous insufficiency, varicosities, and inadequate functioning of the venous return system is always worse with standing and walking. And that's because the veins are asked to work harder if you're standing because they're working against gravity. And if you're walking, you're causing the blood to circulate more. And so then the veins are not only working against gravity, but they're also having to work faster to bring that blood back to the heart for reoxygenation. This swelling of the thighs, legs, and ankles or feet, of course, is related to the venous system, but also related to the interstitial system, because at the capillary, the arterial blood is split out into direct venous return, interstitial fluid that goes into the tissue and then is returned through the lymphatic system. And so a lot of times what I find is that when there is a slowing of the venous system return, then we're going to have a lot of bogginess in the tissue, which is the interstitial fluid is not getting pulled back into recirculation. And so that's usually, in my experience, a big part of the swelling is actually the interstitial fluid, which is related not only to the venous system, but to the lymphatic system. There's pain in the pelvis during and particularly after sex. And this is because sex has to do a lot with the vascular system for engorgement of the tissue. And then a lot of times people will feel worse after sex because the problem isn't bringing blood into the pelvis through the arterial system, but it's a problem getting it out through the venous system. So this is a very stereotypical finding. Sometimes people will also have varicose veins on the external genitalia. So in females, that's going to be the vulva, which includes the labia. Sometimes it will also be the upper thigh and the buttock that have varicose veins. In men, the varicose veins can be on the testicles, the scrotum, the thighs, the buttocks also. The discomfort can also be related to the bladder and the rectum. And of course, this is just because the bladder and the rectum are also drained by the pelvic veins. And so dependent on where the compromise is, then there can be bladder and rectum involvement. Menstruation can commonly be painful because there's more blood, there's more inflammation during menstruation. And so this kind of inflames the area. There's more congestion because there's more volume in the area that's moving, needing to move. And so for multiple reasons, pelvic congestion syndrome can be worse during menstruation and sometimes also worse during ovulation.